Stop living paycheck to paycheck is the theme today. Now, I want to read you a little bit from Market Briefs is what it's called. It's Just Precinct. I think he's an Indian guy on YouTube. He's one of the many financial, economic people that I listen to. And I just picked one of his out here. I don't know why. A lot of people are talking about the same thing. But he gave me some numbers here in this Market Briefs email. It's a little email you guys get. And go over there and subscribe. It's absolutely free. It's very short. And it gives you information such as this. This is what spurred this thought for today. In June, 61% of Americans were living paycheck to paycheck. 61%, guys. That's a big, big number. The number grew from 58% in May and increased by 6% from June 2021. Inflation is taking a toll on everyone. Even 36% of the wealthy, those with an annual salary of $200,000 or more. I'm going to say that one more time. $200,000 or more than or more than $200,000. Also admitted to living paycheck to paycheck. $200,000 or more, and you're living paycheck to paycheck. This is insanity. So what are we doing, guys? What do you want to do? I've been talking on the show a lot about simple living, getting a budget, trying to figure out what to do for people to get their act together so that they're not suffering. But this $200,000, this is the one that really gets me. If you're making $200,000 or more and you're living paycheck to paycheck, that's I don't know. I don't want to beat anybody up or something, but you are living way far above, beyond your wages. And the thing that scares me about a lot of this, both the poor, the middle class, and obviously, I guess, the rich, because I consider somebody who makes $200,000 a year or more is pretty well off. But you've overextended yourself. And one of the things that you guys all need to take in consideration is the words from a client of mine who was an analyst, a professional analyst. And one of the things he told me was one of the number one reasons, if not the number one reason for bankruptcy, is illness. Cancer, let's just say you got hit by a bus, something happened, especially the breadwinner of the family, and they can't go to work anymore, right? Living paycheck to paycheck, and let's just say you're in a body cast for, 6 months or something, or worse yet, you had to go through chemo, or I don't know, you had some sort of, there's just so many things that could happen, right? Some of the people with the cerveza sickness, it was like a month and a half, 2 months, couldn't make it to work. What happens when you're living paycheck to paycheck? What happens when you're making $200,000 a year? You got the nice house, you got the nice car, you got the nice trophy husband or wife or whatever you're doing, and then everything just comes crumbling down. Now, for people like us, for on my side of the fence, who have money to invest in things, could pick things like that up, right? And I don't mean to sound like a shark or a capitalist, but people are losing stuff anyways. And that's when things go on discount, and you can literally find a house, even in this time, even in 2022 here in August, where you can find a really good deal on a house because of something like that, where they need to dump it, and they need to dump it fast. So we need to fix this, though. We need to figure something out here. And I think, guys, the only advice I can give us is that we have a bull run, right? It's a bull market. And that means that a lot of money was cheap to borrow. There's a lot, just basically in a nutshell, a bull market is that everything was going fine, right? With stocks, with house, with, everything was cheap. Inflation was low. We got house buying in 2021 that went super, super low, right? Almost 0%, I believe, interest rates, free money. So now we're in a bear market, and the bear is the one that comes in and just starts, ruining everything. Everything just sucks, right? We have high inflation. We have the cost of the money is very expensive to borrow. We have such things as a zombie corporations is what they call them. And zombie corporations, the reason why I want to say this is that it reminds me of most people. A zombie corporation consists of a business that relies on borrowing money to stay afloat, right? They borrow large sums of money, they invest it, they don't really have any saving like capital and things like that, right? They're basically living paycheck to paycheck, but they're making so much money by being able to borrow money. That's the way the system worked in a bull market. The banks were like, yeah, you're making money, you're paying everything back, we'll keep investing, like loaning you money, and you just keep growing and growing and growing. Well, a lot of these zombie corporations can't borrow anymore. The banks don't want to loan. There's too much of a liability for the bank to loan them money, knowing that hey, they got no backup. If they default on their loan, we lose the money. We'll have to take them to court. They'll file bankruptcy, blah, blah, blah. Does this ring a bell? We're like zombie people because we don't have enough money. The bank's not going to loan you money if you're living paycheck to paycheck. If you bring a financial statement, or the bank looks at, well, how much money do you have in the bank, right? How much do you have for savings? How much do you have down for a down payment to buy a car, right? To get to work, to actually make that thing called money that you need to survive on, right? The banks aren't going to want to loan you money to get that car, right? What are you going to do if you don't have a car, right? You're going to get a bicycle, right? Do you have the money to buy a bicycle? You're going to walk? Well, where are you ending up here? This just doesn't seem very smart. I know that once we reach these points here in life, this is, to me, is like being prepared and in the prepper zone. I never knew I was a prepper. I'm not like full-blown prepper, meaning, I'm not guns and with a bunker under the ground. I'm just preparing myself financially with energy, food, and water, everything that I can, basically the necessities of life. Been preparing myself, and a lot of people, I guess, have not. And in my world, when economic uncertainty and things start happening, I'm not really living paycheck to paycheck. I'm able to fix things as they come. For instance, right now, I'm sitting in this van. This is a U-Haul van, guys. Those of you watching the show on video, you can see the background looks totally different. My truck broke down, right? I have an oil pan problem. And in order to get the oil pan problem fixed, I have to pull the transmission and the whole entire motor out of my car and then get the oil pan out to do its repairs, which is ridiculous. It's an awesome truck, just a bad feature design. But we're looking at probably a couple $1,000s. I'm already at probably around $45,000 to $5,000 just by the motor being pulled, the repairs necessary that I asked for. As the motor's being pulled, I have the money to say, hey, that there's a rear seal on the back of the motor, right? I got 250,000 miles on my diesel, which is, hardly anything for a diesel, for those of you who don't know. But while the motor's out and I've got the reserves, hey guys, why don't you replace that back seal, because it could go out in another 50,000 miles or something like that. And especially if I'm on one of my mini vacations, right, my mini retirements out in the middle of nowhere camping with no help, no phone or nothing. It'd be nice to know that rear seal and everything else, any gaskets and stuff like that, are all repaired. We're probably looking at a couple, maybe $10,000, $11,000 by the time I get out. I'll report on it if anybody's interested to know. But I've got that money in the reserve, and that's a really, really good feeling. Now, how did I get there? I guess this whole point is I want to help people, is that I've done a lot of the things in the past shows where I use Microsoft Excel spreadsheet, or I use Apple's number on my phone. I know my numbers. I know what's going out all the time, right? I know what's coming. Well, it's hard to find what's coming in because I'm an entrepreneur, right? I make big chunks of money, but it's become to the point where I understand I'm on a budget. I'm monitoring what's going out of my wallet, groceries, like I told you guys before, my laundry, right? I live in a tiny house. I don't have a washing machine. I got to go to the laundromat. It costs me about $3.50 every time for every load. I write all that down. Certain points I buy filtration water, 35 cents a gallon. I write that down. It was $1 here, $2 there, $5 here. It all starts to add up. Going to lunches, that's the most embarrassing thing, I think, for an individual, is to look at, if you're excessively going out to bars, which I don't, if you're buying drinks, right, for home, like beer, things like that, you look at how much it adds up. It's ridiculous. Eating out, your Starbucks coffee, even donuts and coffee at a little shop someplace. Start your lunch, say a burrito, 2 Gatorades, a gallon of water, or your what is that? Your H2O, alkaline water. Start adding all that stuff up and put them in different categories, right? Here's my lunch that I've been paying for the past month, and watch how much it's like a car payment, guys. Between the coffee and the lunch every day, the breakfast sandwich, it's ridiculous. So you start to see where everything's happening, and where all your money is going. I think that's the biggest problem with people. They have no idea. Right? They have a lot of people that I talk to, friends, and I have some right now. They have no idea where their money's going. One of my friends works for the Social Security Department in California, and they only get paid, I guess, every 2 weeks or once a month, and blew their budget this month. Has no money for anything, right? I had to bought them some groceries and things like that. And no, because it's a good friend of mine, right? Normally I don't like to loan money, but nobody should have to loan you money. You got to get in your reserves. A lot of you guys, I don't know what your lives are about. I need to know in the comments below or the email, what is exactly going on in your life? I can only go off the people I see. And if somebody asks me, that's the biggest one, is you need to start harnessing the flow. It's like energy, right? It's like leaving a fan plugged in all day or your air conditioner going while you're gone and just watching your electric bill just go to nothing, right? The wheel's spinning. You're spending energy. Money is an energy. And as you start to deploy it, as you start to put it out there, unfortunately, if you're not investing in things like that, the money goes out and never returns, right? If you're investing in things such as, like to me, you buy a new package of seeds. I just did some, what did I buy? Cherry tomatoes or cherry bell peppers, right? And when I purchase these type of things, and this is a really cool one for you guys as far as investing for just poor people, right? Like, I'm not talking stocks, real estate and stuff like that. A friend of mine brought me over these little cherry bell peppers, and they're stuffed with some sort of cheese, and they were pickled in some oil, and they tasted fantastic. And he said, yeah, they're like $18 just for this little half pint jar. And I was like, those are ridiculously good. I immediately went out, bought myself some seeds, and I'm going to go make my own. Now, when I talk about this, as far as not living paycheck to paycheck, is getting into what I'm explaining to you guys right now, a momentum, a mindset of investing even in something as minuscule as a cherry bell pepper, right? So what's going to happen is I'm going to eat these wonderful cherry bell peppers. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to save a couple of those seeds, right? I spent about $4, right? Who doesn't have $4 to invest? That $4 will perpetually make you cherry bell peppers for a very, very long time. You can now take those cherry bell peppers and you can start making your stuff at home. And I got my buddy here who says this place is fantastic. I'm going to keep making different recipes. And then I'm going to tell him, you know what? I'll sell them to you for half the price, right? I might make a little bit of profit, or I might break even to buy extra ingredients and things, maybe to have the free stuffed cherry bell peppers for myself. I break even. I did the labor of cooking them and growing them, but I'll sell it to him to get all the cheese and the herbs and the oils and stuff I need, right? And then I can start expanding upon this. This is the type of mindset. You guys see what happens? I'm not talking about big money. What if we start expanding this to other things, such as stuff that I have, pineapple ground cherries, right? What if we planted a cherry tree, if you're able to, right? And these wonderful, delicious cherries. The food just tastes like crap in the grocery store to me, guys. Most of the fruit I buy is it's depressing. The papayas are all still green. They don't even taste like anything. Cherries are all sour. If you're able to grow those things and give them to your community as a taste tester and blow their taste buds out of their mouth, right? And then start to sell these types. You're not going to get these type of cherries anywhere around here, except from me, from you, right? From Joe Schmo. So we start to formulate these things to get ourselves out of living paycheck to paycheck. Start investing some money, small little things like that, right? When I just said the cherry bell peppers, if we started moving into, like I said, a moringa tree, if we started moving into, basically growing a lot of your own food and things like that, we start to put that money towards things instead of a cup of coffee, right? A $5 cup of coffee, you can buy yourself a $5 exotic seeds of some species and plant them in your garden. And then maybe what you do is you don't have to. I think a lot of people, I think, are listening to me knowing this is not very sexy. This is not very cool. It actually sucks. You're telling me that I need to live without my coffees and all my stuff, right? If you're living paycheck to paycheck, you're going to be forced to do this sooner or later, whether you like it or not. And what I'm saying is you kind of don't have to. If you start strategically planning your life out where you're able to grow those, let's just stay on the cherry bell peppers, you can sell enough jars every week to actually get yourself a free cup of coffee. Now you're not paying for coffee anymore. You can have as much coffee as you want if you play your cards right. Right? You want to go buy lunches? Maybe you can start packing and making lunches, fresh, organic sandwiches and stuff like that for your fellow workers. And instead of you guys going to McDonald's, dude, I'll make you like a fresh, yummy, like really nice something, right? Same thing I'm eating. And again, go to your friends, maybe your coworkers at work, and make yourself some samples. And as you guys are all sitting down eating lunch, they go, hey, dude, try out this new thing I made, right? Some tortellini pastrami sandwich on sourdough rye with fettuccine, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then tell them, dude, I would be offering you, if you would like to, you're buying a McDonald's cheeseburger for, a whole meal for $10, dude. And, you are putting on some weight, Bobby, just kidding. You don't want to fat shame, but you could tell them, I will make you this healthy food here for say $8, right? You save $2 a week, dude. And that's 2 times 5. That's $10 that you're going to be saving you a week. Man, you can go get yourself 2 free cups of coffee at Starbucks, and I'll literally make this stuff for you. Now you're getting free lunches. You're getting free coffee, free lunches, everything that you start building upon these principles, and that's the way you're going to stop living paycheck to paycheck. And as you start small, I guess I don't know, I'm already taking up too much time. As you guys start small with things like this, and you get the gist of what it is being an entrepreneur and being a resourceful, resilient mindset human being, now you start to move from cherry bell peppers, stuffed bell peppers, to coffee, to sandwiches, to maybe moving up forward to real estate, maybe buying a house, making something that's going to start cash flowing for you, to maybe getting yourself a newer vehicle, right, to get you more reliable, to maybe even investing in some stocks or something that you want, and getting yourself your life ahead. It should never stop, right? You should never stop thinking this way. Anything that I buy, it should do something for me, right? It's either a liability, which means it's bad. It's just like we said, the cash is going out was a liability, right? If I go out and I wash my clothes, that $3.50 for that load's gone and will never return again, unless I owned the washer and dryer and told my friends, hey, for $2 you can come do your laundry at my place, right? Save you $1.50. Now it's starting to cash flow. Now that's paying for the electricity, right? All of these things. We turned a liability into an asset, which is something that produces for you, right? A big thing I think that people miss is going back on the cherry bell peppers and stuff like that, is that this is an asset because it keeps reproducing. Off one little cherry bell pepper, you're probably going to get around maybe 20 plants, maybe 30, right? It keeps booming. It keeps producing more. It's perpetual. So we get into this mindset and getting things from assets and liabilities and understanding those two. Everything that you do in your life is either an asset, right? And I wanted to finish off, I guess I jumped the gun there. It's feeding you, right? Maybe it's not making you money, but it's that less food that you have to go buy for yourself that day. There's no money involved. There's no exchange. That's still an asset. That's still something that's paying you back in some form or another. So if things are not an asset, if it's not cash flowing, it's not benefit, it's not producing something for you, therefore it is a liability. Understand these two things and you guys will be well on your way. I would love, there's so much to say, I think, on this whole stop living paycheck to paycheck thing. But hopefully I gave you guys some cookies. And if I did, guys, and you made it this far and haven't hung up the phone yet, please let me know what you want to hear about. Let me know how I'm doing for you. You guys want the show to keep going. I need to get some conversation. I need to get some dialogue, and I need to know how to help you guys. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching.